Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack fascinating ideas, help you get instantly well-informed. Today we're looking at something pretty profound, actually. How you choose to end your day.
Yeah, it sounds simple, but the impact can be huge.
Exactly. And our source is this really beautiful, short spiritual reflection. It's called Songs in the Night. It takes us way back to a moment in Genesis, believe it or not. And our mission today is to figure out why this specific evening practice is painted as so important and, what it could mean for you right now. Okay, let's unpack this. So the reflection starts by pointing us to Genesis 24, verse 63. It says, Isaac went out to meditate, or, as the margin note in some versions says, to pray.
Right.
In the field at eventide.
And that setting is so important, isn't it? The end of the day, that quiet transition time.
Totally. Picture it. The day's winding down, sunsetting. And Isaac, he doesn't just, crash. He deliberately steps away.
He seeks it out, the field, the dusk.
Yeah, carves out that space. And it's not just zoning out. It's active. Meditation, prayer, is intentional engagement.
A conscious turning inward. Not just letting the day end, but closing it.
It's exactly.
And what's fascinating is how the source builds on that image of Isaac. It makes this pretty powerful claim. It says, for someone who has genuinely considered the day, specifically thinking about the Lord's wisdom and care and this surety that all things shall work for good, for that person, the source says it's actually impossible to go to bed without a heart full of thankfulness.
Wow, impossible. That's strong.
It really is. And it's not saying ignore the bad stuff, right?
Right.
It suggests more of a deliberate search through the day's events, looking for those threads of, wisdom or care, even in the tough bits.
Like finding the lesson, maybe? Or just a small moment of good.
Yeah, exactly. And this isn't just, ancient thinking. Neuroscience actually backs this up now. Consistently looking for the positive, cultivating that gratitude perspective, it can genuinely start to rewire your brain, make you more resilient.
So that deep thinking, that intentional reflection, almost forces the gratitude to surface.
In a way, yeah. But it doesn't stop there, as you hinted. It's not just an internal feeling.
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets really interesting for me. The source says it's not just mental. It needs an outward expression, too.
It says it's, quote, appropriate to bow the knee as well as the heart, to render homage as well as thanks.
Bow the knee, render homage.
Okay, so for someone listening today, maybe not in that specific religious context, what could that look like? How do you show that thankfulness?
That's a great question. Because if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really does feel universal. This practice, whether it's Isaac back then or you tonight, it taps into something fundamentally human, I think.
A need to acknowledge. Yeah, exactly. Acknowledgement, gratitude. They aren't just feelings that float by. The source suggests they're actions. You embody them.
Okay, so bowing the knee could be,
Yeah.
what, a literal quiet moment.
Could be. Or maybe just taking a deep breath and consciously acknowledging something good. A silent nod, even.
Or maybe writing it down, like a gratitude journal.
Perfect example. Or, sending a quick text to thank someone. Or just pausing to really notice something beautiful or comforting before you turn in.
Making the internal feeling concrete.
Precisely. Making it external somehow. It helps it land, helps it sink in properly. Which, makes you wonder, regardless of your personal beliefs, what could that simple act, done consistently, that evening reflection, plus some kind of expressed gratitude, what could that genuinely change in your day-to-day perspective, your mental state?
Yeah. It's a really powerful thought to carry into the evening. So wrapping up our deep dive on this reflection from Songs in the Night, the core idea seems crystal clear. There's real profound power in deliberately closing your day with reflection and gratitude.
Taking that moment.
Yeah, taking the time to consciously look back, find that wisdom and care. The wins, the kindnesses, even the tough lessons, and letting that lead, maybe naturally, maybe intentionally, to thankfulness, something felt and maybe something shown. So here's the final thought for you to mull over. What might actually shift in your experience?
Yeah.
If you consciously carved out just a few moments each evening for this kind of intentional pause, acknowledging the day, expressing thanks in a way that feels right for you, what could change?